I don't have any strong implications one way or another about Sykkuno. I know who he is. I know who his friend circles are. I don't have anything against him. I also don't like him. I am a complete neutral party. However, some things were said during this specific video. I think I skimmed the first couple of seconds of it, and I was utterly disgusted and utterly annoyed. Because I think nowadays people exaggerate things entirely too much, and that exaggeration leads people to get into trouble. So we're going to be watching this, reacting to it, and I'm probably going to get very upset during this, but I think it's relevant too. So this young lady is claiming that Sykkuno basically essayed her and that he is a predator. Now, given what happened, in case you aren't familiar with the allegations going on, I'm kind of just tangentially familiar with Sykkuno. Apparently, he cheated on his girlfriend of 5 years with this person, as well as other people. There's other people involved, but I just want to say, and I'm not excusing anyone who cheats, but being a cheater makes you a shithead, makes you a scumbag, but it does not make you a sexual predator. There's a big difference. All right, let's get into it.
I went to Evo Las Vegas alone, but I
All
wasn't
right.
alone. I shared a hotel room with Sykkuno.
Did she share the hotel room willingly? That's the big question.
But I didn't know that he had other intentions.
Why would you go into somebody else's hotel room, and especially somebody who you are attracted to, and not think there might be some ulterior intentions? I mean, not even ulterior, just normal intentions.
And I didn't ask him.
I mean, of course, not counting stuff like people just going in like, oh, I'm gonna grab my wallet real quick, and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. It looks a bit creepy. These women. It's not this. Well, we'll see.
To share a room with me. I just simply asked him, "Hey, are you going to Evo Las Vegas?" He said yes. And I said, "Oh, I'm trying to go this year. I'm looking at hotels and everything's so expensive. Do you pretty much have like any recommendations? Like I know he lives in Las Vegas." And he said, "Oh, you're planning on coming. I actually have room if you just want to like room with me." And I said, and I at first was not against it. I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, "No, I don't want to intrude. Like, I don't mind getting my own hotel and all this."
I'm sorry, lady. They hold a gun to your fucking head and make you do it. I cannot stand this shit. I cannot stand people that are like, oh, I was peer pressured into it. All they did was fucking offer you something. No gun was held to your head, no blade was held to your knife. You made the decision to go.
Like I was insistent on being like, "Oh no, it's fine." And then he said, "No, no, no, like I have extra room. I already paid for it." And I even asked him, I'm like, "Are you rooming with a group or with friends?" And he said, "No, but there's 2 beds, so like you'll get
I think that's perfectly feasible. 2 beds.
your own bed." Like yeah.
So all I'm hearing is that she agreed to go of her own volition without being coerced or blackmailed.
So I took his offer. Being a dumbass, I took his offer, but I did later. I even offered to pay him back. I said, "How much should I save up for accommodations?" And he said, "Oh, no. No, no, no. You don't have to pay me back. Like, I already
I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with offering to pay back, but if somebody tells you we got it, then you take them at their word. And I'll also say Sykkuno, I don't know that much about him, but I do know he is pretty loaded. So if somebody like that was to be like, nah, we got it, fair enough, you got it.
Have room for the hotel. You don't have to pay me back. Um, so yeah, I shared a room with Sykkuno um, at Evo Las Vegas, and
I'm sorry, did he hold a gun to your head or something? Because I don't think that happened. You willingly went there. You wanted to go there. He made an offer. You accepted. Let's continue. You're talking in circles now.
we had plans to watch a movie together. We had plans to watch a horror movie together. Until Dawn. That movie's ass. Actually, I didn't even get to finish it, but that movie's ass.
Okay.
He has a hotel even though he lives in Vegas. Yes.
Okay. You can tell right here that she's trying to choose her words very carefully because she's trying to exaggerate the situation. She's trying to make it seem a lot worse than it was because the truth of it is it wasn't that bad. It was consensual. It was two adults meeting up, doing their thing. Now, one of them happened to be in a relationship. That's besides the point. But cheating does not make you a sexual predator. It does not make you, uh, somebody who preys on innocent people, uh, whether it's through like nefarious means or not. This was fully consensual.
We were watching the movie and he started to get very angsty or something. I don't know how to explain it, but he pretty much tried to make a move on me.
I mean, I think that's normal. I mean, you're watching a movie with somebody. I don't think angsty is the word. I think maybe fidgety or nervous. I mean, I wasn't there, but I do know how guys tend to act when they're trying to set up their plays.
And I was fully trying to say like I'm just here to watch the movie. Like I'm just here to watch the movie. Um
Yeah, Netflix and chill, gotcha, right? I hate the way that she's trying to carefully pick and choose her words because she's trying to make it worse than it is. It's pissing me off.
but me being a dumbass and not being very like what's the word? Very
Wrong-willed.
strong in like mentally, not physically. I mean like um uh
So I'm just gonna take a guess here. I think I've watched up to this point. That's why I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about this on stream. Basically, the gist of it, from what I'm getting, is she slept with him and then she felt guilty about it. Consent cannot be withdrawn after the fact. It can only be withdrawn prior and during, not after the fact.
like maybe this is a people pleaser in me, but and maybe I don't know, benefit of the doubt or cuz I still thought he was cute or I don't know.
See, she admitted right there. She admitted he was cute from her perspective, not mine. Ugh. But she went along with it because she thought he was cute.
He tried to make a move on me, resolute, I don't know, but he made a move on me. It did take like 30 minutes. Um
It took 30 minutes to make a move. What? Not mentally strong without some sort of. Oh my god. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely tell this person's an IRL flesh streamer.
wow, I don't want to share that. I don't like sharing this on. This is like so personal. Like I don't talk about my intimate life at all. But
But yet she says that and she continues to live stream because she doesn't give a shit about that. She wants fucking clout. She wants fucking attention. She wants any sort of money or free gimme points that come associated with this. It's disgusting.
I don't sleep with anyone that I'm not dating.
But yet you did.
Um, and it didn't happen that night. I didn't want it to happen.
And did he force you to do it?
So instead, I just gave him oral.
So she consented to giving oral play to him, an adult, when she is also an adult of her own volition.
Okay? I just. And then when he fell asleep, I got out of bed and I just ate a banana and I was just staring out the window. I was dissociating.
The fucked up thing about that is usually when people disassociate, they're not aware of the fact they're disassociating. I know because I have a habit of disassociating at work. It's annoying. And I don't think about, oh God, I disassociated all day. I'm just like, oh shit, where did the time go? What I think happened is she went down on him. She gave him the old sloppy, sloppy. Then she was probably thinking about it because she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I gave the sloppy, sloppy to Sykkuno. Wow. That's what I think.
I think I was sort of just dissociating. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? What just happened?
Okay, change that context to, what the fuck just happened? Yes. I'm pretty sure she was kind of like that. She probably thought she was going to be Sykkuno's girlfriend or Sykkuno's side piece or whatever the hell it was.
And then in the morning, I barely slept that night. Um, then in the morning, uh,
Okay, look, I'm just gonna say it's entirely possible for people to feel guilty because of what they did. Yes, I'll play devil's advocate there. That could be a thing. Maybe she's like, oh man, I really like this guy. I don't want him to think I'm a slut. I shouldn't have sucked him off on the first date. I get that. I'm not against that. She slapped a banana and ate a banana. She might be a funny woman. Nice.
he didn't really want to talk about it. Um, and I was just kind of trying to open it up and talk to him about like what happened.
Well, what happened is a sexual intimate encounter between two individuals that are adult age. There's nothing to talk about. I mean, the general gist of it would be like, hey, it was fun last night, wasn't it? Oh yeah. But if you want to go to the intimate details of like, did you really like it when I rammed it down your cornhole and this and that, and get in like really graphic and detail. I think it's normal for guys not to want to like get into super details. I mean, with their bros, yeah, absolutely they will. But sounds like blackmail to me. Oh, it could have been.
And then we were going to talk about it, I don't know, later or something. I don't know, but I can't remember. But he ends up
Well, she can't remember because remember, she's not mentally strong. She already admitted that.
hugging me.
A hug is fine unless it's unwelcome. In that case, you should have said to, not or to push him away or something.
Uh, but then pushes me onto the bed from the hug. And
All right.
we end up having sex.
Notice how she say we end up having sex. Not that she was forced to. Not that he like held her mouth down or something to that extent. They ended up having consensual adult sex.
And I didn't have it in me to tell him to stop.
She didn't have it in her to tell him to stop because she was probably really into him. And she was like, oh my God, this is a dream come true. Never meet your heroes, kids.
So I just let it happen.
Right there, consent, full consent. She let it happen.
And while this was happening, while we were doing it, I always wear protection, and I only sleep with people I'm in relationship with. So
Apparently not. The lie detector, the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
I'm not used to one night stands or anything like that. But we were not using protection, and I'm legally hard of hearing. If you guys
I'm legally hard of hearing. That's not a fucking excuse.
don't know already, but in the heat of the moment, he asked me if it was safe, and I didn't hear him, but I just said,
She probably couldn't hear him over the sounds of her own moans.
and
Wait.
and I didn't hear him, but I just said,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sounds like a consensual sound to me, especially if it's followed on by several more iterations of it because someone is moaning. Uh, yeah, it's kind of like if somebody was like, "Oh yeah, you like that baby girl," and she's like, "Mm-hmm." I mean, that's an obvious consensual sound to me. Yeah, I agree. She thought she was gonna get a bag.
and he finished inside of me, and then that was it. And then um we just laid there for a little bit, and then I brought it up. I asked
Yeah, but laying there for a little bit is normal. I mean, it's called an afterglow for a reason.
him. I asked him straight up, when was your last relationship, and do you sleep around often? Like, is this normal for you? Because
Those should have been questions you asked at the beginning of the night, not after you went spread eagle.
I told him straight up, I do not date with people. I do not sleep with people I do not date.
Translation here, she was full well intending to be his girlfriend and or blackmail him, which is what she's trying to do now. And I think she's trying to do it now specifically because all that stuff came out and she sees this, or she saw this at the time, as a way to get some extra clout, internet points, whatever you want to call it. It's disgusting.
I do not sleep with people that I do not date.
But yet she did.
That is just a moral of mine.
A moral of hers that she broke as easily as eating a banana.
I find it very intimate with
Yes, sex should be very intimate.
whoever. So, and I don't actually have. I've only slept with I've only ever slept with 3 people. Well, 4 now, but I've only been in 3 relationships. Um, so it was very new to me. I've never had a one night stand or anything like that. So I asked him, I'm like, is this normal for you? Like, do you sleep around a lot? And he said, no, I just, he was being around the bush the whole time that I was asking these questions, by the way. I'm like, then why did you sleep with me? And he said, oh, it just, giving me really half ass answers.
Look, I mean, I'll speak this in regards to guys. If you ask a guy, like, hey, why'd you sleep with this person? They're probably going to be like, I don't know, the opportunity came up. And short of them being in a relationship, which, full transparency, Sykkuno was, and he was a piece of shit for cheating on his partner, but that, besides the point, does not make this a sexual predatory experience. It's completely consensual as far as I'm concerned.
You know, like, oh, it's just, I've known you for a while, and I know you're very sweet, and you look nice. And then I asked him this question, and I said, when was your last relationship?
Because she wanted to know whether or not she could be the next girlfriend or the next side piece or whatever.
And he said 3 years ago.
Okay, so you see what she's doing here. She's trying to interject herself in what happened with this kind of cheating story that happened with Sykkuno. And I'm not going to defend his cheating. Anyone who cheats, I think, is a piece of shit. I have had several friends who have had their life ruined because they were accused of cheating when clearly they weren't, and all this stuff kind of trickled back on them, and basically they got their lives almost entirely ruined, almost no friends, almost, job, career ruined, just because someone did some shady ass shit like this.
So in my head, it's crazy to that's why I feel so blindsided and backstabbed because I asked these questions and they ended up being complete lies. So when I
So he lied to you. That doesn't make him a sexual predator.
really felt bla- blindsided and backstabbed by all the information that was coming out, I really was because I asked those two questions, like if he was in a relationship or like when his last relationship was, and if he sleeps around, and he told me no, and 3 years ago. And
Okay.
after that, I went on about my day, and then I I ended up um, running into someone I'm very close with, and they offered me to stay in their hotel room
Okay.
because I didn't feel comfortable sleeping in mine. So I
Did she at least voice that to Sykkuno? Say, hey, I'm not comfortable sleeping here. I feel uncomfortable. I think I did a bad. A man lied. Lied man. That's a good one. A man lied to have sex. What a shocker, right? Of course, baby. I'm a millionaire too.
ended up sleeping at my friend's hotel room for the next 2 nights.
Was this friend also a male by chance? I wonder.
And you guys can even tell, you guys can even see on Twitter, if you guys look at my Evo outfits, the first outfit is in a very different hotel room than the other two, and that's because I ended up moving to another hotel. The first one is in the one that I'm with Sykkuno. And I ended up sleeping in the hotel that me and Sykkuno had on the last night because he ended up checking out early and sleeping at his house. So that was the only time I saw him.
Okay, so if the boys got money to rent a hotel room and possibly spend time with you because that's what he assumed was going to have, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I actually need to go do this other thing, so you bolt on him, it makes sense why he's like, well, I don't need a hotel or 2 bedrooms. I'm sorry, 2 beds anymore. That logic tracks. Did she eat more? But I hope she did.
We ran into each other a couple of more times at Evo, but we didn't really say anything, and he didn't.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. If I was in that situation, even remotely, where I ran into somebody at a con again after we had a fun night, or at least what I thought was a fun night, and then all of a sudden this person's like, actually, I'm gonna leave because blah. Well, then I'm gonna feel like, oh shit, maybe I didn't do the horizontal mumbo correctly, or maybe I didn't last as long as she's used to, or whatever the situation is. So I think it's normal to feel a little uncomfortable.
Really want to talk about what happened, and then
Well, why would you want to after? I mean, okay, let me dissect that a little bit more.
more times at Evo, but we didn't really say anything, and he didn't really want to talk about what happened.
Okay, if you're running into him at Evo, which is a fighting games tournament, a very public one, and he didn't want to talk about it there, that fucking makes sense why he doesn't want to talk about his sex life in public. Jeez.
And then I struggled with this for a while, and I had someone in my life be there for me and kind of try to help me through this. And
What did you struggle with? The fact that you were the dumbass? The fact that you made a bad choice? I mean, shit. It is what it is. Been there too. Yeah, exactly. We have total transparency. We've all done stupid things. We have all done stupid mistakes in life. That doesn't make it like just because I decided to sleep with somebody that I wasn't quote unquote 100% into, it doesn't mean that I'm obligated to them. Now, if they get pregnant or whatever, completely different situation. But uh, I'm not, beholden to them. Yeah, exactly. Keep that shit in private. Exactly. Keep that shit in private. I would not go up to anybody in public and basically be like, blah, 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 blah. Why didn't reach an orgasm last time we were together in the middle of a Denny's?
My dumbass tried talking about it with Sykkuno later, trying to like understand what happened because it
Okay, if you're seriously trying to talk about it later at Evo, which is basically like a huge fighting game con, he's probably not going to talk about it there because it's embarrassing. And two, since you left after, from his perspective, you got what you wanted from him, then spoiler, guys can also feel like they were taken advantage of. It's just different for us. We're just kind of like, well, I provided the dick, and she got what she wanted. It is what it is.
it's not something I'm used to. And he
I just gotta say, I mean, I'm not calling her a liar, but she's a cosplayer, and every single girl I know that's a cosplayer has been a huge fucking slut. But that's just from my personal experience. At least she knows she's a dumbass.
he, he pretty much beat around the bush the whole time. And then he would say things like, "Oh, I'm confused. I just wanted to know what you felt about that." And I said, "No, I want to know what you felt about this because I already told you how I felt."
What is this like high school level shit? These people are both adults. Why are they having like high school level? Like, I don't know. How did you feel about it? I don't know. How did you feel about it? Disgusting.
And
On both sides.
yeah, he said he was sorry that he made me. He was sorry that he gave me that impression, and that he would want to reconcile. And me being the dumbass I am, I still
But what's the problem? He apologized because he made you feel bad. I don't see how that makes him a sexual predator. Listen to her speak like I'm exactly. Oh my god, it's kind of giving me a headache.
wanted to be friends with him for some reason. So I did, and that's why we still played games. And then I ended up seeing him at TwitchCon at the Riot Party, and we actually talked in person for the first time since. And he actually brought that part up and said like he was sorry and stuff, and that he was sorry for giving me the impression. So I really thought he was, you know, honestly sorry, and I accepted it. And I thought I was the only one because I literally straight up asked him.
A guy does not have to disclose how many sexual partners he's had, just as a girl does not have to disclose how many sexual partners she has. It's important to keep a low body count, but it's not required by any stretch of the imagination. He is under no obligation to tell you the ins and outs of his personal life.
If he sleeps around, and he said no. So sorry, I thought I was the only one.
Translation: sorry, she thought she was special.
Did I think we were going to be in a relationship? No.
Yes, she did. She totally did. You can tell way back over here where she was like, I asked him when his last relationship was. Hee hee. She totally thought she was going to be in a relationship with him.
I knew how much older he was than me, and
Okay, he was older than her, but they were both still consenting adults.
I was like, why would he want to be in a relationship with someone much younger?
Exactly. She thought she was
So
next.
I didn't really think that, it was going to go anywhere. So yeah, I just said I think it's fine. Like we'll just reconcile as friends. And that's that. And
That's
then
fine. What's wrong with that? All of this is horseshit. All she's trying to do is jump on this hype train because of that shit that happened with Sykkuno and him cheating. And I'm not saying cheaters are good by any stretch of the imagination. If you cheat, I think you are a scumbag. However, being a cheater does not make you a sexual predator. Does not make you somebody who takes advantage of people. Every step of this little journey she went on, every single step of it, she went along with it willingly right here. She gave him oral. She willingly gave him oral. And then over here, she said that she's not used to having sex without permission, but I'm sorry, without protection, but she let him do it. All of this was 100% consensual. The only thing that's bad about it is the fact that she regretted it later. Consent cannot be withdrawn after the fact. I'm not by any means voicing any sort of defense for Sykkuno's actions as far as in regards to his partner. That's besides the point. Uh, I'm just thinking this is just dogpiling for the sake of dogpiling, and this woman is not a victim. This woman is a piece of shit.